In this video, I'm going to show you how to solve the ALEKS problem called Introduction to Solving a Radical Equation. This is giving me an expression. What I get is square root of u is equal to 2, and it's asking me to solve for the value of u where u is a real number, not an imaginary number. So this is going to be really helpful if you are familiar with your square roots and your squares. If you just happen to know that the square root of 4 is equal to 2, that makes this problem really easy. If you are not familiar with that, I'm going to show you a longer way to go about doing it. The square root of anything, like the square root of u, can be rewritten as u to the 1/2. And so that means that this expression up here, we could rewrite as u to the 1/2 equal to 2. Now, if we wanted to solve for u, one of the ways that we could do that is by taking this u to the 1/2 term and squaring it. And as long as we do the same thing to the right-hand side of the equation, we're going to be fine mathematically. U to the 1/2 squared, the 2 cancels out, and this just ends up being u equals 2 squared, which is 4. And again, that's kind of a long way to do it. It's a lot better if you just happen to be really good with your square roots and your squares. Now, one of the issues that you might come along as you're working on this problem is that you might get a problem that has negative answer on the other end. So for example, maybe I'm just going to kind of make a new problem over here. Maybe it said the square root of x equals -3. And what are we going to do in a situation like that? Well, the way that math works out, the way that squaring things works out, you cannot end up, if you're taking the square root of something, you cannot end up with a negative number, not when we're dealing only with real numbers. So for example, you probably know that the square root of 9 is a +3, but there is no number that we can put in here that's going to end up getting a negative answer on the other side. So if you end up with a problem where you're being asked to solve for some variable and the result on the other end is a negative number, then there is no solution to that problem, and you're going to use that button right there.